Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Well, actually, it just flipped. So, good afternoon. Today is Monday. It is the 16th now. I apologize when I did the end of the bread making machine video last night or this morning when I filmed it. I was really tired. I had just literally woken up. But the bread came out pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and clean everything because the bread didn't get done until really late last night or very early this morning. Actually, I pulled it out at 1:45 this morning. And I did not realize that this bread making machine has a keep warm option on it. And that's why you saw the black part of the bread on it. And my husband, who is behind the camera on the other side of the thing, he actually bought this bread making machine when I was out of town, which kind of surprised me, but he wanted to do sorry, I'm doing the ums again. He wanted to bake himself some bread. And it is a good little option to have in the kitchen. I probably will use it more often. I should get my grandmother's out of storage. I think hers is in one of two places. It's either in the garage or it's up in the attic. And hers, like I said, hers is a really big machine. Hers is about twice the size of that. And it does, I think hers does 3 different bread stuff. Now, I didn't mention the brand name of this bread making machine, and it is a Cuisinart. I know Philips made one. I can't remember what. I think my grandmother's was a Philips, because I think at the time that she bought hers, that was the only option. There weren't that many options for the home cook. And I'm sorry I'm doing the ums again. I'll get out of that habit. So what you just want to do with your appliances after you use them, and I'm excuse me, I'm still coughing a little bit, and it is very gloomy. You can kind of see out the windows finally now that they're nice and clean. You can see that it is cloudy today. We're not supposed to get any rain today, but it is supposed to be cloudy. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to wash and dry the paddles. Now, since the machine itself can't be fully submerged, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a damp paper towel and wipe out the inside of the machine. And I hope you guys are enjoying these videos again as much as I'm enjoying making them. I have nothing on the docket right now for this week, cooking-wise, because like I said, more than likely, I'm going to take the entire week off, and I'm probably going to take most of next week off as well. I have a few things going next week. One of them is my husband and my 24th wedding anniversary is next Tuesday, and then we have doctor's appointments at the end of the week and stuff, so I may end up taking all of next week off. If I do a big dinner, and I may do a prime rib for anniversary, I will definitely film that one. So, it's always nice to take care of your, like you said, your machines. Now, whether or not this means your mixers, your food processors, your blenders, and your bread machines, you just want to take good care of them, because that's how they will last you years and years and years and years. And probably in the coming months, well, I should say probably sometime next year, you're going to see new appliances possibly coming into the kitchen. One, I want to get my husband a more sleeker coffee maker for him, but I also want to get myself the espresso cappuccino making machine for myself. But I also want to do, I also am planning on possibly doing a new toaster oven. Not that the Breville, there's anything wrong with my Breville machine, and my Breville machine is been used and loved a lot of time. I'm starting to have issues with the buttons because we use that almost, I would say, almost on a daily basis, if not several times a day. So it's starting to not show its age, but it's showing that it's been loved a lot. And unfortunately, they don't make appliances these days anymore that were built to last a lifetime. So, now that I have the bread pan out, I'm going to flip you guys. I'm going to put you guys, actually, I'm going to put you guys right next to the bread making machine. You won't be able to see it. I'm going to actually tip you guys in, and you can see a little bit of crumbs down there. So what I'm going to do, and you always want to make sure, I never did unplug this last night. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach in and pull the power cord out. Making sure I have the right one. I'm just going to give it a once over. I'm just going to, basically I'm going to take my towel and I'm just going to wipe any residue out of it. And then I'm going to take it to the sink and just going to kind of shake it a little bit out. And then with a damp washcloth, you want to make sure that the washcloth's just damp. You don't want it to be soaked when you do this. And I'm trying to be awfully careful that I'm not splattering on the new paint. Is I'm just going to wipe out the inside. And appliances, they can't be submerged. When you wipe them on the inside, you want to go ahead and quickly, I'm going to move you guys back so you guys can kind of see this. I'm going to put you guys up a little bit. I'm going to tilt you down. What you want to make sure is with a dish towel is just go in there and dry it really quickly. You don't want it to sit with water. Now, how often would I use this bread machine? Well, it all depends on how the bread came out. If I really like the bread, maybe a week, maybe twice a week. Some of these bread recipes do take quite a while to do, so I probably won't use it that often, and it probably will not stay in the kitchen. It'll probably go into maybe into the I did it again. Sorry about that. I might put it in the pantry, the other pantry, and keep it in there so that I can get to it. Right now, like I said, the Hutch, and I'm going to flip you guys around so you can see the Hutch. Right now, the Hutch does not have any available room. I'm hoping this side, the big side. So yeah, so this side right here that has all of the Tupperware. I'm hoping I can move most of that into the new kitchen table, because the new kitchen table has a shelf and a cupboard storage area where I can store some things underneath. And I'm sort of planning on putting the Tupperware underneath there, because that's would be an easy access to get to. I also did kind of cheat. I was going to wait for them to be delivered and see if I could put the KitchenAid. Well, it does have a shelf, so I'm thinking my grandmother's KitchenAid might sit on that shelf, but if there's enough room, I may also be able to put the bread making machine, or maybe my Instant Pot there, but I'm going to see how that looks. So that's not like something that's a definite carved in stone thing that needs to be done. Now, as for the windows, I am not doing them today. I'm not doing any painting in the kitchen today. You will have seen that I put new plates on. I changed some of the plugs, like these are new plugs now. Unfortunately, this one is not working, and my friend Keith, well, when he comes back, I'll have him look at that. I think one of the wires is either not in the right location or it blew. So that's a non-functioning plug right now, and I've got to figure out how to make that better. But I did change the light switch on this side, and you can't really see it. It's kind of behind that board. But it actually now matches. I'm going to move you guys in closer so you guys can see this. I'm going to try to hold you steady. You might have to go in a little bit more. But you see how this is a flip-top light switch? I have the same type of switch on the other side of the kitchen. So they now match. And I know I told you that the track lighting works with the remote control. Well, this is its remote control. And it has, I'm going to bring you guys in closer. It has the dimmer switches here, and then the two controls for the center light and all of the little tiny track lightings for that. We haven't figured out where we're going to put this yet, if it's going to go on the dining room side of the kitchen or if it's going to stay on the kitchen table side of the kitchen. So we're going to kind of figure what's going on with that. So basically everything has been sort of put back into the kitchen. There's a few things that are missing in the kitchen. One is the paper towel holder, and I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't because I'm a little bit far away, but there are two holes. I'm going to point them out. There's a hole here and a hole here, and that's where the paper towel rack is going. I will be putting that back where it was because that was a really, really good location for us. The only thing is I don't want to put that up until I've repainted the window trim. So I am going to have to do that probably in the next couple of days. And do that. Sorry, even though it's 12, I didn't sleep all that great last night because it got really cold in the house and making the bread. So I'm kind of just going through the bread recipe booklet. And most of your bread making machines will come with nice little booklets that will give you recipes to do. And they have a basic white bread. They have an oatmeal bread, a cinnamon swirl bread, a rye bread. I'm definitely going to try the rye bread. I have the, water, of course, kosher salt, unbleached flour. I do not have rye flour, though. And I have the caraway seeds. So I'm going to get some rye flour. I might do a rye bread later on today. Oh, a jalapeno cheddar bread actually sounds good. We did the French loaf. There's a rustic Italian loaf. That might also be the next thing, but I don't have the wheat brand. And that needs to be unprocessed and coarse. And sesame seeds. Well, I wouldn't use sesame seeds in that because that just doesn't seem Italian to me. Country French bread with olives and rosemary. That actually sounds good. A Parmesan peppercorn French bread. That sounds interesting. Basic whole wheat bread. Multi-grain nutty whole wheat bread. Wheat bran bread. A broche loaf. A pantalon loaf. That one I can't do because that has that. Sandwich bread. It has sandwich bread. Multi-grain bread. It has quite a bit of recipes in here. It even has pizza dough. So if you're on the fence about getting a bread making machine, I would say, you know what? Weigh your pros and cons. They're not that expensive. Bread machines have come down in price over the years. I don't know what my husband paid for this. I'm sure he paid maybe $100 for it. Maybe a little bit more. I know they are a lot less than what my grandmother paid for hers. But they're definitely something to keep in mind, especially as we're coming into 2024 in a few months. You know, people are getting back to eating more healthy, not consuming all the fat products. I've noticed a lot of our fast food restaurants locally here are starting to go down the drain in both service as well as quality of their food. And my husband and I, for next year, are going to try to eat less and less processed food and more natural food to keep us both more healthier and hopefully slim me down a little bit. I was watching some of the videos that I did this weekend, and I'm like going, I'm a little bit pudgy and I need to reduce a little bit. So, all right, I've rambled on for 16 minutes. This was just a fun little tidbit video. This will post probably Tuesday. I may hold this off for Wednesday because I threw a lot of videos at you guys on Monday. You guys all enjoy your week. I will probably see you sometime on the weekend. I'll do a video. And then we'll talk about upcoming cooking videos that should be coming up for the rest of the month. So I'll see you on the next Cooking with Joel video. Okay, I'm back. It's Monday. I kind of lied. I did want to take a brief mention, and I wanted to say something. I'm not sure if I did. I don't think I did this in a video, but what I thought I'd mention, if you guys saw the way that the old kitchen was laid out with that great big shelf, and I'm going to put you guys on the garbage can for a minute. Hopefully this won't be blurry as I knocked a bunch of stuff over. Like I said, the kitchen is still not fully back the way it was. But if you remember how tall the bookshelf was that is currently in the living room, I could not reach. I had a very hard time reaching anything on the top shelf. And if I had to reach to the back of it, it was even worse. And I couldn't reach anything on the top unless it was on the very edge. Well, this one I can actually reach almost all the way to the wall. So this is small enough for me to actually be able to grab anything. And like I said, you're going to see, I'm going to step out of the view for a minute. You're going to see a bunch of stuff up here right now. Like I've got coffee bowls, coffee cup, my husband's travel mug, and then I have the video camera, and this is where I sort of have the tripod that the phone sits on when I'm doing the videos. You might see that for a short time. Once I get the canisters sent to me, that's all going to change, and those things are going to move and declutter up there. But it's going to make life a lot easier for me because I can actually reach stuff that is over there. And as short as I am, I'm 5'3", so it is making my life a lot easier. What I think I decided, and I'm not going to do it right away, but what I'm thinking I'm going to want to do at some point is get a second set of canisters for the flour, sugar, coffee, and tea, only this time for me, and keep those up above the refrigerator. And I know I said my husband and I are going to work really hard not to clutter that up. And I think if I just put those up there, that'll be a way that I can keep like my sugar and my flour for when I bake close at hand. And I can use the ones that are on the Hutch over there I'm going to tilt you guys over there as more of decorative things. But I haven't decided if that's how I want the kitchen to look yet or not. I'm still getting used to the gray Hutch, which I really do like. I will be honest, it's pressed wood, and for what it costs, I wish it was a little bit harder of a wood. And that thing took me a long time. It took me almost 9 hours to build. It was not a... When I say it wasn't a simple build, it was simple in the fact that you did it step by step, and I will say the manual was very, very easy to follow. There were a couple of problems that I had with this, and that was, they had these little screws that lock these screws in, and they kept falling out because they weren't tight. They weren't getting tight. And like I said, there's a couple of things we bobbled with this as we were building, because it had, I think it had over 40 pieces of wood that were all over the kitchen that my husband laid out, and I broke one snapped in half. I had to kind of put it back together, and it is pressed wood, so it already has the nick, and it has a little bit of a flaw in the top where a little bit of paint or whatever scraping came on it, so if I go really close to it, you would be able to see a little piece of gray is missing and it's white. But, you know, they don't build furniture anymore the way that they once did, where it was built to last generations. This would not last a generation. But for what we paid for it, I'm very happy with it. I think it looks great where it's at. I'm going to give it a go and see how it goes. Like I said, I wish companies would go back and do more of a natural hardwood versus the pressed wood, because pressed wood was not designed especially for my dogs. That's kind of what happened to my cabinets, especially around the island. They're warping because of the moisture and stuff from the dogs, and I don't want that happening to that right away. So anyway, I'm gonna finish up the video. I already said I finished the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button for more great videos from me. This was just me rambling on today. I'll see you on the next Cooking with Joel video.